Hello everyone, my name is Imranuddin. I am MS Project Management student at Institute of Management Sciences, Peshawar. Today I'll be talking about critical aspects of project management, that is integrating fraud risk management into the projects. So, what is fraud? In project management, fraud refers to dishonest or deceptive activities that undermine project objectives, such as procurement fraud. Like in procurements, many times there are manipulation in bids or inflating the cost during vendor selection. Similarly, financial frauds that occurs when misreporting happens in budgets. It also include embezzlement of unauthorized and use of project funds. Similarly, in resource management, misusing project resources or falsifying work hours. So, in some cases, collusions where team members or stakeholders are conspiring for their personal gains. So there are some statistics and figures about the frauds, which I call the hidden costs of the fraud. So some of the organizations have lost an estimated of 5% of their annual revenue to the fraud, which cost $4.7 trillion globally. Similarly, procurement frauds, which are very common, and most of the projects funds are misused in the fraud cases of the procurement. 33% of all reported fraud cases in projects are related to the procurement. Similarly, projects with a budget over 10 millions are likely to have more fraud than compared to the small projects. Similarly, in latest developing situations where AI has prevailed, so AI and data analytics detects fraud 60% faster than those traditional methods. So, how we can like integrate fraud risk management? So, to tackle the challenges we already discussed, to tackle these challenges, integrating fraud risk management into project is essential. This involves understanding fraud risks, leveraging technology, and embedding governance practices to safeguard resources and ensure project success. So, fraud detection, mitigation, project oversight, and managerial safeguards are the most important and critical one. Similarly, in addition to these, fraud risks is a major challenge in project management. While we do understand that black swan events such as rogue trading and inside fraud pose catastrophic risk to our projects. So we all know that frauds are common, and for that we need to understand about the fraud risks. So first of all, the schemes includes financial misreporting. This we already discussed. Similarly, procurement frauds are common, and bribery also do happens. So there's a famous theory about the fraud triangle. It's called fraud triangle theory. It's presented by the Cressy. So in this theory, basically, fraud happens when three factors aligns, as explained by the fraud triangle. That's pressure drives the need, opportunity allows it to occur, and rationalization justify the act. By addressing these, reducing pressure, limiting opportunities, and fostering ethics, organization can prevent fraud. Similarly, we can also create heat maps, so we could identify and prioritize high impact fraud risks. That would also be very helpful. So, what is changing? And the role of technology is everywhere. So, similarly, in fraud management, the AI and machine learning could be used to detect anomalies in the real time. Similarly, the development of blockchains also ensures that transparency and transactions are recorded everywhere in the real time. and the technology tools enhance but do not replace ethical leadership. So, technology is considered as a good element, but it also require a proper oversight and ethical perspective as well. So, what are the key components of the fraud risk management? So, first of all, we have to conduct a fraud risk assessment. We have to identify all high risk areas, especially, for example, we can have a proper risk assessment about the procurement, that how we can assess the risk in procurement and what are the areas which need an oversight. Similarly, fraud prevention mechanism. So we should have like a segregation of duties to have a better control on the fraud preventions. Similarly, we should also analyze data and we should have a good whistleblower programs to detect the fraud. In addition to these, the fraud response and recovery mechanisms are really important. So we must have a forensic audits, investigation, and we should also build a repository of lesson learned. Okay, so how we can embed fraud risk management in our project? So during the different phases of the project, like from beginning initiation phase till the closure, we have to consider embedding the fraud risk management in the process. So in the initiation phase, we must conduct risk assessment and visualize risks via heat maps and other standardized tools. Similarly, in the planning phase, we must incorporate ethical trainings and control frameworks. In execution phase, we have to use real-time monitoring tools to detect anomalies. As we have earlier mentioned, that the AI and machine learning could be a better source for doing this. Similarly, in the closure phase, we should evaluate all the lesson learned during the course of the project implementation, and we should refine our strategies for the future project as well. So, technological advancement in fraud management has really helped to the project manager. So, data analytics tools like Tableau and Power BI analyze the inconsistencies in the data and could give an early warning for the fraud related activity. Similarly, AI and machine learning could predict high risk areas, high risk behavior, and it also can improve the efficiency of our project managers. Similarly, the blockchains, the smart contracts, and the tamper-proof record ensures transparency. Like while working with the technology, the blockchain could be really helpful in mitigating the tampering of the proof records. We have previously discussed that technology has been very helpful, but we must have a good governance and ethical leadership to oversight the fraud. So in this case, we must have fraud oversight committee so they could ensure the compliance and could investigate the fraud. Similarly, the whistleblower policy or the whistleblower protection, so we could encourage people to report suspicious activity. Similarly, the ethical leaderships, so leaders can set the tone for integrity and transparency within organizations and in projects, which could be really helpful. So, what strategies can be used for risk integration? First of all, we have to align the fraud risk management with the project life cycle phases. In addition to that, leverage advanced technologies for detection and prevention, and promote a culture of integrity and accountability. So, these are some strategies that could be really helpful. So when we integrate the fraud risk management, the benefits are very good. So first of all, it safeguards resources and enhance the transparency. It also mitigate risks effectively to achieve the project success. And it also built stakeholder trust through the ethical practices, and they believe on our projects and the commitment of our organizations. So this brings us to the conclusion, which explains that fraud risk management is a vital component of successful project management. It combines technology, governance, and leadership to prevent and address fraud. Remember, this is not just compliance measure, but a strategic imperative for achieving sustainable outcome. Thank you for your attention.